Hi everyone, I'm Karen.
And I'm Joe. Together we're part of the amazing team here at MarketplaceAmerica.org.
Now, health insurance may seem complicated, but it's a crucial safeguard against unexpected medical costs, and we're here to help make it simple.
Yes, indeed. We're here to guide you, educate you, and help you navigate the world of health insurance with ease. We want you to make the best choices for you and your family's health.
Yes, our commitment is to make health insurance understandable, approachable, and tailored to suit your individual needs.
So join us as we dive into the ins and outs of health insurance, and remember, we're always here to help you.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future updates.
So let's get started.
In this presentation, we'll try to explain health insurance terms.
Absolutely, Karen. Really, it's a different language. It's
It
different
is.
words. And if you don't understand the words, it can be confusing. And you really need to understand the words to help you pick out the best plan for you and your family and their health needs.
So let's go over some of these health insurance terms.
The first one we're going to cover is premium,
Co-payments,
deductible,
coinsurance,
maximum out of pocket, or MOOP, as we like to call it.
network,
Okay, so these are terms that if you're not familiar with health insurance are going to be foreign to you, and you're going to have to evaluate plans based on that. So Karen, let's go ahead and dive into each one of these health insurance terms so they can actually understand them better.
So let's start out with a definition of health insurance.
Absolutely. Health insurance is a contract that requires the health insurer to pay for some or all of the individual's health care costs in exchange for a premium.
Okay, I think most of us understand that.
Okay, what's a premium, Karen?
Well, the premium is the amount that must be paid for the health insurance plan. Insured and/or an insured's employer usually pay the premiums monthly.
Absolutely, and this premium's got to be paid regardless of whether they're actually using the health insurance or not.
That's
They could be
right.
completely healthy, and they got to pay that every month.
Right. And then you have premium subsidies, and that is your financial assistance from the federal government. And this is for individuals who qualify. And that assistance pays all or part of the premium on a monthly basis.
Absolutely, and the premium subsidies are really only available through the health insurance marketplace. Your employer actually doesn't qualify for those and doesn't get them. If you're under an employer plan, your employer is the one actually subsidizing your health insurance.
Okay. So here are some items that could affect your premium prices.
Absolutely. The items affecting premium prices in the health insurance marketplace are age, tobacco use, geographic area, in other words, what county do you live in, and finally, the actual plan you choose.
Okay.
Karen, what's not affecting premium prices?
Pre-existing conditions, and that is huge. That was a big barrier in previous years.
Absolutely. So you can know that you're sick, and as long as you're qualified to sign up for health insurance through the marketplace, you can go get it, and you're going to be covered. There's no pre-existing condition clause on the marketplace plans, whereas employer plans, a lot of them still have those pre-existing clause
Sure.
conditions.
Now let's talk about your deductible.
Absolutely. So Karen, what is the deductible?
It's the amount the insured owes on a yearly basis for health care services, and this is before the insurance plan begins to pay.
Okay, so for example, if the deductible is $1,000, generally the insurance plan won't pay anything until the $1,000 is met by you.
That's right. So you have to pay your premium and meet your $1,000 deductible.
That's correct.
But under the ACA, all of the following counts towards the deductible.
That's right. All co-payments to doctors, medicine, the emergency room, etc., and also all co-insurance amount count toward that deductible as well.
And the deductible does not apply to preventative care services under the ACA. That includes your physicals and flu shots.
Absolutely.
And also, well, baby care, vaccines, and visits, or the deductible does not apply.
Okay, so all those things you get at no cost. All
That's
that preventative
right.
stuff up front, you don't. There's no copay. There's no deductible coordinated with that. So Karen, let's go ahead and talk about my favorite term when it comes to health insurance.
The copayment?
Absolutely, that's my favorite term.
Okay, well, that's a fixed amount, sometimes like $15, and that's what the insured pays for a covered health care service, usually at the time of service.
That's right. And the amount can vary by the type of covered health care services, either a doctor visit, say, for example, a $15 copay, or a specialist visit, maybe a $50 copay, or an emergency room visit, maybe a $500 copay.
And copays are often simpler and more predictable for consumers than coinsurance. I guess that's why you like them, Joe.
Well, that's part of it, but we're going to give them an example why I really like it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to leave them hanging out there for a little bit. So now what we want to do is we want to look at deductible versus copayment.
Okay.
And maybe they're going to see why it's my favorite word when it comes to health insurance.
There you go.
So we have an example here. What's our example say, Karen?
Julie's healthcare needs. She goes to the doctor about 3 times a year, and she has 2 monthly prescriptions. Total cost is about $1,500.
Okay, she's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
3 visits, 2 monthly prescriptions. That's pretty average. Okay, so here's an example with a bronze plan without a copayment. In other words, there's no copayment, and the deductible on this plan is $6,350.
Okay.
So she goes to the office. 3 times? There's no copay. She's got to pay for that out of pocket. She goes and gets her medicine. No copay. She's got to pay for that out of pocket. Okay. So Julie's out of pocket is $1,500. How much did the insurance actually pay, Karen?
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the first half of why you're getting to why it's my favorite.
Yes.
So the next part of this example says it's a bronze plan with a copayment. In other words, she's got a copayment. So again, her deductible is the same amount, $6,350. This time she's got an office visit copay. She goes 3 times 15. She's going to pay $45 for that. Okay, and then she's got medicine. She's got 2 prescriptions times 12, 24 times 5. So we add those amounts together. Julie's share of that is $165. How much did that insurance actually pick up, Karen?
$1,335.
So the reason copayment is my favorite term is you're going to get immediate benefit regardless of how much you actually use your health insurance, if you use your health insurance at all, and it's going to minimize your out-of-pocket.
Yes. Now let's look at this deductible versus your copayment.
Okay, so this is another example. What do we have in this example, Karen?
Well, this time Julie's healthcare needs include hospitalization. She has 3 doctor visits and 20 physical therapy visits, so that total cost ended up to be $9,200.
Sounds like Julie was maybe in a car wreck, hurt herself playing tennis or
yes,
doing something like that.
Yes.
She had an accident, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So here's our example with a bronze plan without a copayment. Okay, we've got the same deductible and out-of-pocket max as we had in the previous example. Again, office visit, no copay. She's got to pay it out of pocket. Hospital admission, no copay. She's got to pay it out of pocket. So Julie's share in this amount is actually her deductible amount, $6,350. And how much did the insurer actually have to pay, Karen?
$2,850.
Okay, so at least the insurer had to pay some of this, but
Yes.
she had an accident. She had much more medical expenses than we had in the previous example. So Karen, let's go ahead and look at the bronze plan with a copayment, okay? We've got the same deductible and out-of-pocket max. Our office visit copay is $15.
Okay.
Our hospital admission is $500 copay. How much Julie has to pay out of pocket is $845. How much did the insurer have to pay, Karen?
$8,335. And that's more like it, huh?
Absolutely. I'd rather pay $800 out of pocket
Right.
than paying $6,000 out of pocket and let the insurer pick that up.
Yes.
But Karen, the other thing we're not mentioning here is under the bronze plan with a co-payment, you're probably going to have a slightly higher premium than without.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. So you can factor that in as to your premium cost, and I guess it's a roll of the dice for some people.
Absolutely.
Now let's look at coinsurance.
Co-insurance. So you always have to keep co-insurance in mind. So what is co-insurance, Karen?
It's the insured share of the cost of a covered health care service calculated as a percentage. For example, 20% of the allowed amount for the service. A lot of insurance used to be 80%, 20%. That was kind of the standard at one time.
Right. It really needs to add up to 100. It can be
Yes.
80-20, or it could be 70-30, or 60-40, or 90-10. But it's going to add up to 100 every time, and your low percentage is your co-insurance portion that you're actually going to have to pay.
And the insured pays co-insurance plus deductibles, so it would be your deductible plus your 20%, for example.
Absolutely. And then the deductible must be met before the health insurance plan pays their co-insurance percentage. So you remember that too.
Yeah.
So you've got to meet that deductible, and then you're actually going to end up in a co-insurance situation, paying the lower amount with the health insurance company paying the higher amount.
Correct. So how's co-insurance work?
Okay. So what do we got here, Karen?
Well, Jane's plan has a $1,500 annual deductible, She has a 20% co-insurance, that's what she pays.
Right.
And then a $5,000 out-of-pocket limit.
Okay, so out-of-pocket max,
Yeah,
$5,000. We haven't got to that term yet, but we'll get there. So in our example here, before Jane meets her $1,500 deductible, her plan doesn't cover any of the cost except for preventative care.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at this, Jane's paying 100%, the plan's paying 0% at this point in time.
Okay.
But Karen, let's say Jane meets her deductible, okay? After she meets her deductible, what's her situation?
She's going to pay 20% while the plan pays 80%. Now let's look at the maximum out-of-pocket limit, or what you call that term, Joe?
MOOP.
Okay.
MOOP, isn't it a great word? And that MOOP puts a cap on what the enrollee pays in cost-sharing charges each year. It's set on a yearly basis, and it applies to in-network services and not out-of-network services.
Okay, another term.
That's right. We'll get to that term in a little bit.
And 2023 maximum amounts are $9,100 for individuals or $8,200 for family. And this adjusts annually for inflation. That's pretty big numbers for most families, Joe.
Absolutely. And MOOP limit is not the amount that an enrollee must spend each year. They need to understand that.
Yeah.
I think maximum out of pocket is the maximum that they can spend each year.
Right. And all of the following amounts count towards your MOOP. That's all your copays for doctors, medicines, ER visits, etc.
Absolutely.
And all of your co-insurance amounts. That's that 20% we were talking about previously.
But you'll notice that the premiums are not there, and premiums don't count towards that.
That's true.
Okay, so you have to keep that in mind as well. So Karen, let's go ahead and look at how co-insurance works. What do we got here?
Well, you've got Jane's plan is a $1,500 annual deductible with a 20% co-insurance, that's the part she pays, and a $5,000 out-of-pocket limit, or MOOP.
MOOP. That's the 5,000 is the MOOP here in this example. So we got a $5,000 MOOP limit. So Jane reaches the $5,000 out-of-pocket limit under her plan. This means that she has paid a deductible and other cost-sharing charges totaling $5,000 within the calendar year. Now the plan will pay the full cost of any additional in-network services she receives during the rest of the year. So after she reaches that, what happens, Karen?
She doesn't pay anything. Jane pays 0%, and the plan pays 100%.
And that's why she's cheering over there.
That's right.
Absolutely. So the plan, after you reach the MOOP plan pays everything, and Jane pays 0 for the rest of that year.
Now, another important term to keep in mind is in-network versus out-of-network. That's huge.
Absolutely. And some people might think of that as network being a hospital system or their doctors. Okay, and we'll get to those definitions in just a second. But what is in-network?
That means the providers who contract with your health insurance plan.
And most of the time, again, that's going to be your doctors, it's going to be your hospital systems. You want to make sure your health insurance plan works with those individuals. Otherwise, it's going to be what we call out-of-network. And what is out-of-network, Karen?
That's providers who did not contract with your health insurance plan.
That's correct. Now, plans may have separate deductibles and other cost-sharing amounts for out-of-network and in-network services. So, Karen, let's give them an example here. I'll let you go through the in-network.
Okay. So, for my in-network doctors, we have an annual deductible of $5,000.
Okay.
My annual MOOP limit is $9,100. Anytime I go to the hospital, it's a $1,500 admission. My primary care doctor is $25, and any specialist visit is $50.
Well, Karen, let's compare and contrast that to an out-of-network. So, under an out-of-network, annual deductibles double, up $10,000. Annual MOOP limit, there is none.
Yeah.
There is no MOOP limit. Hospital admission, they're going to pay 50% of whatever the hospital cost.
Right.
It's not going to be the normal co-insurance. Primary care visit, they're going to pay 50%. There is no copayment.
Right.
And specialist visit, they're going to pay 50%. There is no copayment. So you can see how much more expensive your medical services are going to be if it's out of network versus in network. So once you sign up for a health insurance plan, or when you sign up for a health insurance plan, you want to make sure your favorite doctors, your favorite hospital system is actually covered by that plan. Otherwise, you need to look for another plan, because you can see it on an out of network thing, it's going to get quite expensive.
In a hurry, yes. Let's talk about the cost sharing and metal tiers.
Absolutely, metal tiers. You may have already heard about these, but basically they're different colors. You've got platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, with platinum being the most expensive and bronze being the least expensive. And notice that if you look at the plan pays and the consumer pays, or you pay, those two columns add up to 100 each time. And you can
Yes.
see the more expensive the premium is, the platinum, the less the consumer's percentage is going to be.
Exactly.
And the cheaper the premium is, the bronze, the more you're actually going to have to pay for healthcare services. And that's really what this designation here talks about. And the other thing you want to be able to understand is when you select a silver plan, if your federal poverty level is between 100% to 250%, you're also eligible for cost sharing subsidies to reduce the out-of-pocket costs.
And remember, those are only available in the silver plans.
Absolutely. So if you have access to that or the cost sharing reductions, we highly recommend stepping up to the silver plan rather than the bronze plan just for
Exactly.
that.
So, Joe, let's go to the software and take a look at how these terms apply.
Absolutely. Karen, that's a great idea.
Welcome to MarketplaceAmerica.org, Health Insurance Simplified.
As your trusted partner for health insurance, we're proud to be fully integrated with healthcare.gov, offering the same plans at the same prices.
What sets us apart is our streamlined process, which gives you access to 1-minute quotes and 10-minute enrollments.
With us, you gain the advantage of personalized assistance from licensed agents at no additional cost. Our primary aim is to provide you with hassle-free experiences, all while respecting your privacy.
And rest assured, we don't ask for any identifiable information until it's time for you to enroll in a plan.
Ready to explore your options? Start by clicking on the See Plans and Prices buttons on MarketplaceAmerica.org.
You might be surprised to find plans starting from $0 per month.
Welcome to MarketplaceAmerica.org, where navigating health insurance becomes an effortless task. But what you want to do when you come here is see health plans and prices. It's going to take you immediately to where you can actually get a quote. We're not actually asking you for any personal identifiable information before we give you the quote. We're wanting to get you the information you actually came here for. Now, Karen, let's use a zip code. What kind of zip code do we need?
Put 29303.
Okay, and this is critical. It needs to know what county you're in, and that's going to actually identify your network. And remember, that's one of the factors that actually plays into the actually cost of your premium.
Okay.
Now, Karen, how old is our person that's applying for insurance?
We're going to say it's a 30-year-old male.
Okay.
No spouse, no dependents, no tobacco use.
How about tobacco use?
No.
Tobacco use, remember that was one of the things that affected the premium. If you say your tobacco use, premium's going to go up. Are they eligible for coverage through a job or Medicaid chip or Medicare? In other words, this is an eligibility question.
Right.
And if they are, they're really not eligible. If you click on the I over here, it'll basically tell you this. So we're going to say they don't have access to any of those. Now, do they have anybody else living in their family with them?
No spouse or no dependents, no one else in their tax family.
Okay, but if you did have that, you'd add a spouse or add a dependent right here, and you're just going to actually hit continue. Now, actually, how many people are in the tax household, Karen?
Oh, we're going to say 1.
Okay, and then now we've got to estimate. This is critical that you understand, estimate your next year's income. Okay, and how much is the income going to be for next year, Karen?
We're going to say about 30,000.
Okay, so we're going to estimate that, and we're going to put continue. And wow, what do we got here, Karen?
This is showing the kind of savings, the premium assistance, financial assistance that they get.
They're saving money. This
Yes.
is huge. So it says you may save this on your premiums, $453, which means the plan may be as low as $0 per month, which is huge. Okay, now notice that's an estimate because you gave an estimate. And then the cost sharing reduction, what is that, Karen?
This is available with your silver plans, and if you qualify, you actually get cheaper doctor visits, hospital visits, prescriptions, lower deductibles, and lower max out of pocket.
That's awesome. And you can identify the plans once we get in there and see the plans with this badge right here. It says CSR,
CSR.
Cost Sharing Reduction. So, Karen, we're going to hit continue. Now, this brings us to a special enrollment period because we're actually outside of open enrollment right now. If we were inside open enrollment, we wouldn't actually get this screen. So we have to say, yes, we're losing coverage. And that qualifies us to actually enroll in health insurance during the special enrollment period. So we're going to hit continue right here. Now, Karen, this says, do you have any preferred doctors, pharmacies, or hospitals? This is wanting to make sure that you're actually getting a plan that works within your network. Now, Karen, do you have a hospital we want to look up here?
Let's look at Spartanburg.
So you just type it out, and you can see how it starts going and find it. I'm going to start in Spartanburg Medical.
Spartanburg Medical. And we're going to go down to the hospital. Where's our hospital?
Okay.
Spartanburg Medical, there it is. Spartanburg Medical Center, General Acute Care Hospital.
Right.
So I'm pretty healthy, so I just want to make sure my hospital's in that.
Right. So it's General Acute Care, and you have to be really careful with this. You might, like she originally thought it was Spartanburg Regional.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the actual name of it. It's Spartanburg Medical. So you might actually have to Google them online, so what they're actually going by to actually come up with the correct name. So we're going to go ahead and add them. And if you had some doctors, you could actually add them in here as well.
Right.
Okay, or you can actually continue. If you wanted to add a doctor, you just come up here and type the doctor's name and click add. But in the interest of time, we're going to continue on, and we're just going to go continue. Now, the next thing it takes us to is, do you take any prescription drugs? Now, Karen, I know most people out there have a prescription they take. What was the one that we had before?
It's a blood pressure.
LOS.
LOSART.
T. Lorsatin.
Yes, and if we look at our generics, most of them are going to be generic.
Okay, so you want to go down to generic, get an oral tablet. We're going to hit add right here, and it's going to give you actually the dosage. You can double check the dosage. Sometimes you'll get a drop down on the dosage amount.
Correct.
And we're going to hit continue. And then we're past that. And now, actually, right now, this is the first time it's actually asking for any personal identifiable information. But guess what? You don't have to provide it. Okay, we want you to see the plans that you can actually enroll in. So we're going to leave that blank. We're going to see plans, and wow, it takes us immediately to the plans. And the first plan it shows us is a $0 monthly premium and $0 deductible. So Karen, I know we just went through a bunch of terms. The first term we went through was premium, and it's right here.
Yes.
The next term we went through was deductible. It's right
there.
here. Okay. We went through out-of-pocket max. It's right here. Copays. We got copays for the doctors, specialists, and generic drugs. They're right here. And then also look down here. You've got your hospital system, Spartanburg Medical Center, and it takes this plan.
So that's in network.
And that's good. And Razatan, right there, and it's $28 copay.
Okay.
And it's all spelled out for you right here. Now, if we're also looking at this, remember we talked about the metal levels and cost sharing reduction. So I want to find the CSR plans. So I'm going to click on the metal levels over here. It's going to filter it automatically. I'm going to go back up and notice I've got my badge over here, that CSR. That means it's typically a better plan. You're going to have lower costs. And again, we've got the same information. Notice here we do have a monthly premium. Here's our deductible amount. We do have that. And we've got an out-of-pocket here. And then again, here's our copays.
And it's in that network, and then we've got our copay for our prescriptions.
Okay. So if we wanted to compare a couple plans, I could actually, let's see, let me go down here, and I'll pick this Silver 14. And let me go down here and pick, let's go back up here and pick the cheapest Silver. And then let's go back, and there's also a level called Expanded Bronze. I'm going to select that. And notice when I pick those two, it actually put them right down here at the bottom. And I'm going to look at my Expanded Bronze, and I want to definitely look at this one that's 0 and 0.
Yeah, I love the zeros.
Okay, and then let me also pick, let's go with this one right here. So I've picked 4 to compare, and if I come down here at the bottom, I can compare all 4 plans, and it's going to lay everything out for me right here side by side. And you can actually look at what's most important to you, because everybody's health needs is different, and you're going to need to find the plan that works the best for you.
And then notice at the bottom of that screen, you've got plan details,
Right.
a summary of benefits, your prescriptions, and a brochure about the plan. That's going to give you additional detailed information.
Absolutely. A lot more additional detailed information. So once you think you've settled on one, click on the brochure of these. You can print these out. You can look at these. But you want to actually go over those. And we're here to help you if you have questions on what some of that stuff means. So, but Karen, I want to go ahead and go, let's go back. I just want to go back. And I actually want to go back to that Silver 14, because one thing we haven't actually talked about is which term, Karen? Coinsurance.
Coinsurance, that's right.
Right, you got to be careful with coinsurance, and we're going to show you why. So I'm going to go to a silver plan, and I'm going to go to the cheapest silver plan I've got, and I want to go to plan details. We haven't seen that, but you actually have to go to plan details to see your coinsurance. And I'm going to scroll down. And when I scroll down, I haven't seen any, but notice right here I start seeing 50%. So this is what we call a 50-50 plan. It's not a 70-30 plan. So if you pick this plan, you're paying 50% of whatever expense you've got
Whatever
after the deductible.
Yeah, until you meet your out-of-pocket maximum.
All right, but let's go back and say, all right, well, I don't want that silver plan. Let's go ahead and look at this silver 14 plan, and I come to its plan details, and I'm scrolling down, and notice I've got 20% starting to pop up. So this is a 80-20 plan. This is actually better than 70-30, which is huge. So you definitely want to pay a little bit more premium to get this 80-20 plan.
Yes.
Now, the other thing we want to show you is hospital and emergency, and right here we've got in-network. This is what happens if you're in-network, and let's say you're out of network. In other words, you picked the wrong doctor and you don't realize he's out of network. Karen, what happened? All of a sudden, they're responsible for 100% instead of 20%. So you want to be cautious of this as well. So that's huge. So make sure you understand these terms. Make sure you research this, and we're here to help you if you need assistance with this.
And now that you understand the terms on health insurance, see our next video to see how to quickly enroll in a plan.
Absolutely. It's really a step-by-step guide on how to go through the entire process.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap for today. I hope you found our discussion to be enlightening and valuable.
Yes, thank you for spending time with us today. We strive to make health insurance easier to understand and navigate, and we hope we've done just that for you.
If you have any questions, or if there's a topic that you'd like for us to cover in the future, please leave it in the comments down below. We're here to help.
And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on our future videos.
Remember, at Marketplace America, we're not just providing health insurance, we're providing peace of mind.
And if you are breathing and not covered by health insurance, stop procrastinating. Sign up for a health plan today.
Until next time, stay healthy and informed.